Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Escalating tensions in the Middle East as Israel confirms it smuggled drones and other weapons into Iran ahead of overnight attacks. Join me in the Live Center for a look at the aftermath.
And I'm following some rain moving into the western part of the viewing area. I'll let you know if it will affect your morning commute.
Protests against President Trump's administration. Demonstrations are scheduled tomorrow in hundreds of cities, including the Triangle. The preparations for the rally is expected to take place during the military parade in Washington, D.C.
And crossing the stage, high school graduates are getting ready for their big moment today in Wake County. What you need to know if you plan to go. We just want you to stay here with us on our Friday here as we get ready to go towards the weekend. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. Yeah, big graduation weekend. Such an exciting milestone for the students, for the parents. It's just like loaded with nostalgia, right? And you go, where did the time go?
Yeah.
6 o'clock here on your Friday the 13th. Let's get to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. And nothing severe out there, but we do have some rain showers.
And you know, sometimes it doesn't take a whole lot of rain to make for a real messy commute. I don't expect it to be widespread this morning. A couple of sprinkles up there near the Virginia line, especially there in Granville County. Otherwise, I'm watching this band of rain that had its origin well to the south and west. It's bringing some light rain to the northern part of Moore County and the southwestern corner of Chatham County. So starting to see some of that rain pushing into Siler City. Now, the models have this dissipating as it moves into our area. So we're going to give it a 20% chance there in our western counties. We're going to take a closer look at futurecasts coming up. Between 3 and 5 o'clock, that's when we start to see some thunderstorms bubbling up that could produce some heavy rain. That's going to linger through the evening commute and into the evening if you have outdoor plans. Again, stay tuned. We'll have futurecasts for you. I looked through downtown Raleigh's pretty quiet, but it's warm and muggy heading out. 75 with a dew point of 70. And our high temperature this afternoon is in the upper 80s, a little cooler than yesterday because of some additional cloud cover. Our rain chances continue into the weekend. I'll show you when you may have some chances to get outside. Coming up, Ken.
6:01, Elizabeth. We just got word that Raleigh police looking into some type of road debris in the 3700 block of New Bern Avenue in this area right there. That's right near the Wendy's. There's a Shell gas station across the street, but I zoomed in on that area, not seeing any delays. So you might just see some police activity in that area trying to get rid of whatever that road debris is. But right now, all our major routes from Wendell to Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, delay-free. How about this live look in Cary? I-40 and Carytown Boulevard. Traffic is picking up just a little bit, but flowing nicely in all directions. You're getting ready to head out the door. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Breaking overnight, following a series of Israeli strikes on Iran, Israel says it is shooting down drones from Iran. Several nuclear scientists were killed in the Israeli strikes. Iranian state media is reporting several high-ranking military officials were also killed. Israel says it is targeting the country's nuclear and military sites. Airspace over Tehran has been shut down, and Israel has done the same in anticipation of a retaliatory strike. WRAL's Chris Lovingood has been following the escalating tensions now from the WRAL Live Center.
And in the past 5 minutes, Renee, we've heard from President Donald Trump. I'll show you his social media post in a second, but I do want to show you the aftermath here in Tehran. Notice that behind this reporter here, you'll see that building that is on fire at the bottom there, as there are firefighters on the scene as well. And this is only one of the cities in Iran that were attacked in these attacks from overnight. In the social media overnight, President Donald Trump made this post, again, about the last 5 minutes, in fact. But the part I really want to focus on, I'm going to highlight here. Essentially, he said he gave Iran a chance to make a deal on this, but he mentioned how there were, and we'll put this paragraph here, certain Iranian hardliners spoke bravely, but they didn't know what was about to happen. They are all dead now, and it will only get worse. And U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the U.S. was not involved in these strikes. Just to be clear, we're going to watch to see more updates from this throughout the day, including other countries that have begun to start condemning Israel for these attacks.
Chris, thanks. More breaking news we're following from overnight. A person is in critical condition after a shooting in Goldsboro. Police confirmed to us at 2 o'clock this morning the shooting happened on Hughes Street last night. The person who was shot was taken to the hospital. Police say they do have a person in custody for this.
Starting today, thousands of Wake County High School graduates will cross the stage and turn their tassels. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live outside the Raleigh Convention Center. And Kelsey, Wake County high schools have large graduating classes, so this is going to bring big crowds to downtown Raleigh.
Yes, Renee, big crowds for sure. More than 12,000 students will be walking across the stage this week. We see some students here that are waiting to go inside already. Here at the Raleigh Convention Center, we're expecting to see hundreds of students and families here a little bit later today. We have a busy day ahead. Enloe High School students will graduate at 8 o'clock this morning. Then 3 other graduations are scheduled to happen throughout the day here at the Convention Center. Now, the district recommends arriving at least 1 hour before the ceremony starts. Prepare to be in a lot of traffic if you're driving downtown today. Some schools are having ceremonies for 500 to 600 students at a time. So all of these graduations will be live streamed on the district's website. They also have an FAQ page for families who are able to attend in person. So we'll have a link to that on our website, WRAL.com. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, Evan Raleigh.
Preparations continue in Washington, D.C. ahead of the Army birthday celebration and parade this weekend. This all comes as some protests are also planned. Michelle McConaughey is here now with where those protests will be. Michelle.
Yeah, Jeff, this map here shows where the protests are planned across the country, including in our area in Raleigh. These events are spearheaded by No Kings. The No Kings protests are set to take place to counter what organizers say are Trump's plans to feed his ego on his birthday and Flag Day. But no events are being planned for Washington, D.C. Organizers have deliberately chosen locations outside of D.C. for the majority of their events. Meanwhile, road closures there have hit a new level. Restrictions and closures, especially around the National Mall, are on a grand scale. As far as other protests planned for Saturday, groups like Refuse Fascism say they're coming.
I will reaffirm that our protest is permitted. We have a moral responsibility to be in the streets, and we have a legal right to be in the streets. And we will conduct ourselves in a nonviolent way. If there is any violence in these streets, it will be on the hands of Trump and his supporters, and we will not let it intimidate us.
And President Trump has said protesters would be met with very big force. Law enforcement officials say they're already laying down 18 miles of anti-scale fencing and 17 miles of bike rack concrete barriers in preparation for that parade. This all follows several days of nationwide protests against federal immigration raids, including in Los Angeles. President Trump's deployment of the National Guard further agitating his opponents.
He was the face of WRAL News for 24 years. This morning, we're remembering the life of former anchor Charlie Gaddy, who passed away yesterday at 93 years old. Charlie left a lasting legacy among longtime viewers and fellow colleagues after retiring from the desk in 1994. He helped guide viewers through some of the biggest stories with a calm demeanor, most notably the 1988 deadly tornado in Raleigh, as well as talking on the air with Eddie Hatcher as Hatcher held newspaper employees hostage in Robeson County. Current and former WRAL colleagues recall the lasting imprint Gaddy left on their careers and the news industry.
People watching at home trusted Charlie because he was one of them. And that's what the difference is that he never talked down to people. He talked as if he was one of the people who was watching.
Integrity, honesty, fairness. That was Charlie. He's the kind of person that you look to make sure your compass is pointed in the right direction.
And after retirement, so many of us would see Charlie at signature WRAL events. He was always so kind, so gracious, and so supportive. Charlie Gaddy was inducted in the Raleigh Hall of Fame in 2012 for his excellence in journalism and service within the community. He was preceded in death by his wife, Nancy. You can go to WRAL.com for much more about the life and career of Charlie Gaddy. Hear him speak in his own words about his career, see photos from his time at WRAL, and watch the Tar Heel Traveler tribute from Charlie's 90th birthday.
He was a legend. The Indian American community in the Triangle is coming together to mourn the victims of the Air India plane crash. The SV Hindu Temple in Cary held a vigil for families in the Triangle. The temple's chairman, Dr. Raj Pallavaram, told us that people were looking for a way to share their grief and pray for the victims' families.
We are not able to be there physically there and to share our feelings with them, and at least then we can share our feelings and come together and be there as a part of the temple, that we just want to show that we are there for the rest of the community.
The death toll has reached 290 people killed when that plane crashed, and that includes people on the plane and others on the ground. Miraculously, one person on the plane survived. Officials say he only has minor injuries. The plane was a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, the first major incident involving that model of aircraft. Several middle school students were injured and one child was sent to the hospital after a golf cart crash in Clayton. The WRAL breaking news tracker was on the scene after the crash happened on Tuscan Ridge Way near the entrance of a neighborhood. Police say a teenager was behind the wheel of that cart and at least 5 middle school students were riding when they swerved to avoid an oncoming car. The cart ended up hitting the car and flipping over. Highway Patrol did not confirm how many people were taken to the hospital, but witnesses say at least 2 teens were seriously injured.
Happening this morning, Wake County officials are hosting a community walk to raise awareness for elder abuse. This walk is part of World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. The county is using this to highlight ways to prevent abuse and provide support through the services it offers. The event is from 9 a.m. to noon at Northern Wake Senior Center in Wake Forest.
We have a traffic alert to tell you about this weekend in Wake County. Weather permitting, the eastbound lane of NC 540 near Viridia Parkway over by Holly Springs will be shut down for a paving project. The closure will be in place from 9 tonight until 1 p.m. tomorrow. Drivers are encouraged to avoid that area, and to avoid the closure, officials say drivers can take exit 54A, which gets you on the NC 55 bypass, before then turning right on Bennett Knoll Parkway.
Economic takeoff. Jet Zero is calling Greensboro home. How the massive number of new jobs from a new factory could impact the entire state.
And it's a big day for a lot of graduating seniors. It looks a little bit on the damp side this morning, but expect there to be more showers and thunderstorms later this afternoon. I'll walk you through the timeline for today's rain on Futurecast coming up. .14, we start with a look at Boone. If you're going to be traveling for the Father's Day weekend, we're looking at a fairly wet pattern all across the state, from the mountains through our area and to the coast. But it's likely just to be those afternoon and evening thunderstorms that we'll end up seeing. Temperatures will be warm, 85 in Asheville, 78 degrees in Boone, with late day showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. And then again Sunday, similar temperatures up at Grandfather Mountain, 69, around Bryson City, around 83 degrees. Rip current danger is moderate for the beaches just north of Wilmington. Always check before you get in the water to see what that rip current danger is, because it can change day to day. Beach forecast for tomorrow. Also, afternoon and evening thunderstorms. High temperatures will be in the low 80s on Saturday and again on Sunday for Father's Day. We'll walk through the Father's Day forecast here and let you know when the driest time will be coming up, Ken.
Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Really quiet start, here, particularly here in Wake County. The Beltline, I-540, all delay free this morning. Let's go to the west of Raleigh, give you a live look at Durham, Chapel Hill, Hillsborough, just delay free, all those routes, 15, 501, 85. So let's stay in Durham, give you a live look here at I-885 and Ellis Road. Traffic beginning to pick up just a little bit, but flowing nicely in all directions. And Jeff, in less than 5 minutes, I'll have another update on all of our major routes.
Take it from the roads to the air. Here, Ken, with this, a new aviation company is adding a massive factory in North Carolina. Jet Zero plans to build a $4.7 billion plant in Greensboro. Governor Josh Stein made the announcement at Piedmont Triad International Airport. It'll bring more than 14,000 jobs, paying an average salary almost $90,000 a year. The company is designing a fuel-efficient jet that could drop costs by 50% for airlines. It expects to break ground next year, with plans to finish the plant by 2036.
The first Farmina pet foods manufacturing site in the U.S. is being built here in North Carolina. The Italian brand is setting down roots in Reidsville to take advantage of its location and availability of state workers. Reidsville, by the way, is north of Greensboro, near the Virginia border. The company is expected to bring an economic investment of more than $100 million that it says will support the area for years to come.
Here's one that didn't get away. A big catch for a Raleigh family. The Montague family reeled in the first blue marlin of the Big Rock fishing tournament. The family is out on their boat called Bank Walker. Their 23-year-old daughter Lizzie caught that fish that weighed just shy of 450 pounds. It took the family 3 hours to reel that big one in.
I've been fishing since I was 13 in the Big Rock. He's been fishing since he was 12 or 13. It's crazy.
It's insane. This is crazy. Pinch me. I can't tell you what I say.
Yeah, and while that marlin is huge, almost 450 pounds, it didn't weigh enough to win the prize. More than $800,000 will be awarded for the first 500-pound catch.
Juneteenth celebrations, Pride Month festivities, and Father's Day events. It is shaping up to be a busy weekend across the Triangle.
Let's take a look at WRAL Out and About's best bets here. The Capital City Juneteenth celebration will be at Dix Park tomorrow afternoon. Festivities are scheduled to begin just before 2 o'clock. There'll be food, entertainment, and other family activities. You're encouraged to bring your own lawn chairs and blankets to sit on. WRAL is the official media partner for the event, and Ken Smith and Lena Tillett will be the MCs.
Pride Month celebrations will take place in Durham this weekend. The third annual Aurora Flow Block Party is tomorrow afternoon. The event will include food and vendors. It starts at 4 p.m. on William Vickers Avenue.
And arts and crafts for Father's Day in Cary on Sunday. Kids and families can head to downtown Cary Park to enjoy exciting crafts at the Art Cart. The event is free and open to the public. It is from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And for more about this and other events, you can go to WRAL.com and search Out and About.
Another best bet this weekend is Jeff's birthday. We want to wish you a happy birthday and happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
Big weekend for you.
I know. It's just huge. We're celebrating all weekend long. It's good.
Yeah, I have a feeling you'll be out and about at a golf course somewhere. And the question is, how much rain will there be? Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. It's going to be a wet weather pattern.
Those are both best bets.
Yes, right, exactly. Unfortunately, Jeff, we do have that pattern. A little bit more moisture in the atmosphere for today, tomorrow, and Sunday. And what that means is it doesn't really change the timeline, but it just means as the thunderstorms start to develop in the afternoon and evening that we could have more heavy downpours. Here's a look at what's happening right now. Most of what we see over the weekend will be, mid to late afternoon, so you should have some hours during the morning. Except we're gonna walk through Futurecast. This system developed down here in Georgia, moved up through South Carolina, and is weakening as it moves through our viewing area. Just starting to kind of creep into the western part of the viewing area, Chatham County, Moore County, and it is weakening. The models advertised this weakening. I watched it. It really is. Started to get a little closer to Sanford, and then woof, there it goes. Siler City, you've seen an isolated shower, but I wouldn't expect to see a whole lot more rain. The bulk of us will be nice and dry this morning. You can see that system just fizzling out. There's 8 a.m. Another, kind of the rest of it makes a run at us and just kind of falls apart. It will be fairly gray for us today. That keeps our temperatures into the upper 80s. Around 3 or 4 o'clock, we start to see a few cells popping up. Notice at 5 o'clock, it is not covering the entire viewing area, and it doesn't really at any point. So definitely going to be some windows where there are some dry conditions even this evening when we have those thunderstorms popping up. All right, we have Raleigh, we have Chapel Hill, Apex, and Fayetteville all across the viewing area. A lot of cloud cover. Those clouds will likely stick with us all day. As we get into Saturday and Sunday, we stay hot and humid. We're seeing this big surge of tropical moisture. And again, that means some heavy downpours. We take a look at Saturday morning at 7 a.m. Same story. We may have a little bit of rain that kind of makes a run at us and fizzles out. And then a better chance for storms much later in the day. There's 6 o'clock with some scattered storms popping up. And then we'll put that on repeat for Sunday as well. 50% chance for it today, tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday. And then, boy, we get into parts of next week. It just gets really hot. Good bit of rain for us, anywhere from maybe 1 inch to 2 inches. Not only is it going to be, kind of wet on and off, but also really humid, 95 to 100 in terms of the heat index. So I would put the caution up for Saturday and Sunday. I think there'll be plenty of dry periods. Just note that we'll have those afternoon and evening thunderstorms. And then, Ken, look at that. Are you ready for that 95 on Thursday?
I am not ready for it, but I better get ready.
Yep, you better.
Right. Thanks a lot, Elizabeth. If you're getting ready to head out the door this morning, nothing but green showing up on our live traffic map, which is really good news. So let's take you outside, give you a live look at I-40 and Avon Ferry. Traffic is beginning to pick up just a little bit, but flowing nicely in all directions. Similarly, in Durham, we take a live look at I-885 at Ellis Road. Traffic picking up just a smidge, but no problems to report. As far as other major routes heading into the Bull City, here's what we're looking at. Very little to no delays whatsoever. You're getting ready to head out the door. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Protest preparations for the weekend. Demonstrations are planned to take place across the country during tomorrow's military parade. We hear from the mayor of Durham, who is standing in solidarity with protesters.
Plus, what's this, a runaway bull? An Apex woman describes the moment she looked out her window to find this guy just chilling in her driveway. And to head on today, it is the start of Father's Day weekend, and the dads of the show, Craig Melvin, Al Roker, Willie Geist, Carson Daly, and Peter Alexander, will celebrate the only way they know how, with a friendly competition.
Here's a look at the winning lottery numbers. We'll be back with what's trending.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
The return of an iconic comedy and new music awards up for grabs.
Ken Smith here now with what's trending on a Friday, Ken.
Yeah, definitely more shenanigans in outer space. The film Spaceballs getting a sequel. The original film, directed by comedy legend Mel Brooks, came out back in 1987. The new film, Spaceballs 2, set to be released in 2027. Brooks, along with star Bill Pullman, will return for the sequel.
Oh, and this is what made the whole thing. Rick Moranis hasn't been on stage or seen in a movie in decades. Wow. He is coming out of retirement to reprise his role as Dark Helmet.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Hey, the Grammys are trending this morning. Music's biggest night will see some changes in 2026. The Recording Academy announcing 2 new Grammy categories, Best Traditional Country Album and Best Album Cover. Nominations for the Grammys will take place in November, and the award show set for February in Los Angeles.
Trevor Noah hosted last year's Grammys. He actually hosted the 4 before that, so he was 5 in a row. No word yet on who will host next year's, but it's still pretty early. They'll be making those arrangements soon. Well, 6:26 now, preparing today for weekend protest. Demonstrations against Trump administration policies are planned for tomorrow in hundreds of cities, including the Triangle. Which areas will be impacted?
Graduation Day, as Wake County students celebrate today and throughout the weekend. We are helping families prepare for the ceremonies in downtown Raleigh.
And if you're headed to one of those during the evening, you're going to want to prepare with an umbrella. This morning, I'm watching some showers to our west. I'll let you know if that will affect your morning commute.